Hello, and welcome to the Personal Development and Career Planning Training. In this session, we will explore how to clarify your career goals, identify opportunities, and manage your personal development. If you're ready, let's begin. Our goal today is not just to find a job but to build a long-term career. A career is not only about salary or title, it's also about creating value, feeling fulfilled, and establishing life balance. Throughout this training, we'll focus more on practice than theory. We'll share real-life examples from the field. At every step, we'll provide a roadmap, but it's you who will walk the path. Gaining knowledge is the first step, but turning it into action is what creates lasting impact. In this process, determination, consistency, and openness to growth will be your biggest advantages. If you apply what you learn rather than just knowing it, you'll get the most benefit from this training. If you're ready, let's begin this career journey together. The first step in career planning is self-assessment. If you don't know what you want to do, it's impossible to move in the right direction. SWOT analysis is a powerful tool at this point. When you write down your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, your own map begins to take shape. For example, you might have strong communication skills but struggle with time management. That's an area for improvement. SWOT is not only about personal awareness but also about building a strategic plan. You need to learn to see yourself from an outside perspective and develop a realistic attitude. The more honest and open you are in this step, the stronger the next steps will be. Remember, building a career is only possible by knowing yourself. Motivation is the core energy that keeps you going. What motivates you? A high salary, being creative, doing meaningful work? The answer varies from person to person. What's important is that you clarify this answer for yourself. For example, some people are driven by individual achievement, while others are inspired by team success. Some seek structure, while others look for freedom. If you don't know your true motivation, you'll be easily swayed by external factors. That's why you need to understand what drives you before setting your goals. When you recognize your inner motivation, you'll be more resilient and determined in the face of challenges. This awareness will be your compass throughout your career. Graduation is not the end of learning, it's just the beginning. Today, access to knowledge is easier than ever, but applying it is what truly matters. That's why developing a habit of continuous learning is a vital skill for long-term success. Global online platforms like Coursera, Udemy, and edX offer countless opportunities across various fields. Simply watching videos isn't enough. Applying what you learn and documenting your progress makes a real difference. Sharing your projects on platforms like GitHub increases your visibility. Participating in bootcamps provides both hands-on experience and valuable networking. Those who keep learning stay current and ahead of the competition. So don't settle with, "I've graduated," always focus on what comes next. Your CV is your first impression. It's the document through which employers meet you for the first time. Therefore, creating a clear, concise, and role-specific CV is essential. Sending the same CV for every job is a major mistake. Customize your CV for each role. For example, if you're applying for a sales role, highlight your communication skills. If it's a software role, focus on your technical expertise. Also, don't just list your past experiences as job descriptions, include achievements and results. Focus on the details that best reflect who you are rather than filling the space with irrelevant information. Reviewing and updating your CV every 3 months is a good habit. Remember, your CV should reflect not only your past but also your future potential. The ability to present yourself effectively is essential in your career journey. Especially during interviews or networking events, how you speak and the impression you leave are as important as your technical knowledge. People care not only about what you know but how you express it. Avoid cliches like, "I'm hardworking," or "I'm a team player." Always support such statements with real examples. For instance, in my last project, I helped recover a 2-week delay through team coordination, as much more powerful. Your tone of voice, body language, and eye contact are also part of your communication. These elements are especially crucial in first impressions. Practicing in front of a mirror or with a friend beforehand can be helpful. Preparing a short self-introduction in advance helps you know what to say in any setting. This skill is not only useful during job searches but also when meeting new people or presenting a project. Having technical knowledge is valuable, but presenting it effectively is even more critical. In your CV, it's not enough to simply list the technologies you know. You need to show how you've applied that knowledge, what results you achieved, and how deeply you understand the tools you've used. Instead of writing, "I know Python," for instance, say, "Developed a data analysis project using Python, processed datasets with pandas, and visualized insights with matplotlib." Specify the platforms you worked on, whether the work was individual or collaborative, and which methodologies you followed. Include sample projects or GitHub links to build trust, and mention tool versions and workflows to leave a professional impression. Staying current with recent technologies and showing your familiarity with them is key. The technical section of your CV is one of the most carefully examined, so make sure it is clear, detailed, and impactful. The cover letter gives you a personal space to express your interest in the position and why you're a good fit. It should be short but impactful. First, read the job posting carefully and explain how your qualifications meet the expectations. Clear examples like, "I increased sales by 30% thanks to my communication skills," are highly valuable. Also, mention why you chose that company. For example, "Company X's sustainability-focused approach inspired me," shows that you have a personal connection. A cover letter has a more personal tone than a CV but should still remain professional. Avoid using common templates. Develop a style that's unique to you. Unlike face-to-face interaction, elements like eye contact don't apply here, so your written expression must carry the impact. Remember, your cover letter is your first written introduction, and originality and clarity are key. The job application process is like a competition, and even the smallest details can make a difference. First, analyze the position thoroughly. Applying to every job with the same CV and cover letter is ineffective. Customize your application documents based on each job's requirements. Pay attention to file naming and email content. Avoid names like CV_final_last, doc. Use a format that includes your name and the position title. In your email, use a polite yet direct tone. Doing a bit of research about the company can also enhance your application. For example, if you know the company has launched a new project, referencing it can help you create a connection in your letter. Timing is also crucial. Applying early can place you on the shortlist. Remember, to stand out, you don't need exaggeration, you need careful and targeted communication. Waiting for a response after a job application is a common situation. However, a timely and polite follow-up can give you a significant advantage. If you haven't heard back within 7 to 10 days, it's reasonable to send a courteous email to inquire about the status. For instance, "I'd like to follow up on my application from last week. Thank you for your attention." A short, friendly message like this shows that you're engaged and genuinely interested. Keep it concise and avoid coming across as pushy. Persistence should not be confused with pressure. Calling constantly or sending repeated messages can leave a negative impression. Also, don't overlook automated responses from the company's system. Sometimes your application is still under review. In short, follow-up should be a strategic move that remains within professional boundaries. Many people ask, "I don't have work experience. What should I write?" But experience isn't just about paid jobs. Projects you did in university, code you uploaded to GitHub, personal analysis, and systems you set up in test environments. All of these are valid experiences. The key is how you present them. Did you build a system? Explain it with visuals. Were you part of a social responsibility project? That shows your ability to work in teams and take initiative. Even if you didn't do an internship, developing a website or analyzing a dataset on your own makes you stand out. Experience isn't about someone assigning you a task, It's about taking initiative for your own growth. If you've achieved something independently, that's valuable. The goal is to show that you're open to learning and capable of producing. So never say, "I have nothing." Instead, focus on expressing what you've already done in the right way. Improvement doesn't stop when school ends. Especially during periods of unemployment or career shifts, continuous self-development sets you apart. Watching targeted content on platforms like YouTube and replicating what you learn can be highly effective. For example, following a "How to Build a Power BI Dashboard" tutorial and rebuilding it yourself helps reinforce the knowledge. Use global online learning platforms such as Coursera, edX, Udemy, or FutureLearn to gain practical training in your field. These credentials add valuable differentiation to your CV. I also recommend joining bootcamps, as completing hands-on projects often carries more weight than just holding a degree. Create a weekly development routine. Choose a topic, research it, apply it, and share the results. This consistent rhythm keeps you productive and sharp. Remember, today's employers value not just your education, but your ability to deliver. Structured, practical, and visible development makes a real impact. Being visible on social media is no longer optional, it's a necessity. Especially on platforms like LinkedIn, weekly posts allow you to document your learning and increase your professional presence. For example, "Today I used Power Automate to export Outlook emails to Excel," is a simple, concrete way to showcase your skills. Also, creating profiles on platforms like Medium, GitHub, Behance, or Kaggle helps position you as a serious candidate. Aim to be a creator rather than a passive consumer. Share what you learn, receive feedback, and engage with communities. This builds your recognition in the industry. Remember, candidates who share and contribute always stand out. Over time, these posts can lead to job offers, mentorships, or freelance gigs. In other words, digital visibility is not just about prestige. It brings real, tangible benefits. When choosing a career direction, the most important thing is not to follow trends blindly. Just because everyone is learning to code, doesn't mean you have to become a developer. Maybe areas like analysis, process development, training, or consulting are a better fit for you. Try to match your interests and strengths with the nature of the job. If you don't enjoy coding but love working with data analysis or no-code platforms may be more sustainable for you. Fields like SAP, Power Platform, and ServiceNow are in high demand and can make you more competitive. Also, consider your personality, not just your skills. Are you more suited for fast-paced environments, or are you detail-oriented? These traits help guide you toward the right path. Finally, remember, a career is not a fixed route, it's a journey. You don't have to be confined to where you start. The key is to know yourself and stay open to growth. Freelance work is not just a way to earn money. It's also a great opportunity to build references and develop a portfolio. You can start by registering for free on platforms like Fiverr, Upwork, and Buy-n-Luck and taking on small tasks. Fields such as translation, data entry, testing, and content writing are widely available. These jobs can help you stay strong both mentally and financially during unemployment. For example, you can design CVs with Canva or offer LinkedIn profile consulting. Starting with small tasks helps you gain trust and build a client base. Over time, this makes you more visible and in demand in your field. Remember, unemployment doesn't mean being unproductive. On the contrary, it's a great time to create. Freelancing also proves that you can generate a serious income outside the traditional job market. Earning money with your own skills gives a major boost to your self-esteem. Based on everything we've covered so far, we've focused on how to represent yourself in the best possible way before even applying for a job. How to prepare a strong and clear resume. How to highlight your skills and experience effectively. And what steps you can take to increase your visibility and become a preferred candidate. These efforts are not in vain. Life isn't always harsh. At some point, your dedication will pay off, and a company will reach out to you for an interview. That moment is a key turning point. But how do you get ready for it? How should you prepare before the interview? How should you act during it? And what should you follow up with afterward? In the next part, we'll explore these important aspects so that you walk into your interview confident, well prepared, and ready to make a lasting impression. Preparing for an interview reflects your seriousness and motivation. Learning about the company's background, services, and recent projects can make a big difference. For instance, saying, "I noticed your company prioritizes digital transformation projects," shows that you are both interested and well-researched. Additionally, preparing your success stories using the STAR method ensures clear and effective communication. Practicing in front of a mirror and checking your pronunciation builds confidence. Remember, unprepared candidates often fail to highlight their strengths and miss out on opportunities. Taking the interview seriously and rehearsing beforehand leaves a positive impression. Also, check practical details like travel time, interview location, and your technical setup ahead of time to avoid surprises. These small but meaningful preparations help you feel more confident and stand out on interview day. During the interview, don't settle for just answering questions. Use each one as a chance to express yourself effectively. Statements like, "Here's how I overcame a challenge in that project," provide concrete examples and inspire confidence. Your body language is just as important as what you say. Make eye contact, maintain an upright posture, and speak politely to build trust. Also, view the interview not just as an evaluation but as an opportunity for both sides to get to know each other. Be sure to ask a question at the end, such as, "What defines success in this position?" This shows curiosity and vision. Be cautious about topics like salary or work hours. It's better to bring those up in the final stages of the process. Just like overconfidence, excessive modesty can also be a problem. Finding the right balance is one of the most important parts of the interview. Following up after the interview is very important for showing continued interest. Sending a thank you email shortly after the meeting leaves a professional impression. A simple message like, "Thank you for today's interview. I'd be very happy to work with you," can make a strong impact. About a week after the interview, it's perfectly appropriate to politely inquire about the status. Staying in touch shows not only your interest but also your seriousness and motivation. Remember, your presence should be felt not only during the interview but afterward as well. Candidates who maintain communication are more likely to be remembered. One thing to watch for is timing. Following up too early or too late can create a negative impression. If you don't get a reply, gently indicate that you are open to being considered for other positions. Be patient and strategic in your approach. Yes, you've finally landed a job. So what's next? The first 90 days are critical for adaptation, learning, and relationship building. Instead of rushing to share ideas, focus on listening, observing, and understanding how things work. Get to know your teammates and learn the processes before making suggestions. Saying something like, "I'd like to offer input after I fully understand process X," shows maturity and professionalism. During this time, keep your interactions friendly yet work-focused. Communicating respectfully and clearly helps you earn trust and build credibility. Adapting quickly to your responsibilities positions you as a reliable team player in the eyes of your manager. These first 90 days lay the groundwork for long-term success, and gaining trust early is key to building a stable, lasting career. So don't stay silent, but observe, learn, and act with intention. If you've been applying for jobs for a long time without receiving responses and the period of unemployment begins to stretch, it's important to stay focused and proactive. Unemployment is a natural part of life, and when managed wisely, it can become a valuable opportunity for growth. Remind yourself that this phase is temporary, and structure your days with purpose. Study or read in the morning, apply for jobs in the afternoon, and practice your skills in the evening. Continuous learning and sharing what you've learned can boost your motivation and confidence. Avoid isolation by seeking support from mentors or joining peer groups to stay engaged. Candidates who maintain discipline and consistency are the ones who make progress. Use this time not only to search for a job but also to reflect on what you truly want from your career. Participating in volunteer work or community activities can expand your network and keep your mindset strong. This is not a pause, it's a strategic preparation for your next chapter. During periods of unemployment, you can continue developing yourself and building strong expertise by narrowing your focus rather than choosing a broad area. For example, saying, "I'm into cybersecurity," should reflect targeted efforts like completing OWASP or SEAM trainings. Surface-level knowledge won't set you apart, but depth in a specific area will. Diversify your learning with up-to-date articles, industry reports, and expert videos, but remember, collecting information isn't enough. True specialization comes from applying what you've learned through practice, such as writing blog posts or building demo projects. Be patient. Expertise takes time, consistency, and repetition. Above all, keep your curiosity alive. With focused effort and discipline, your knowledge can grow into a powerful asset for your future career. In the workplace, soft skills make just as much of a difference as technical skills. Abilities like communication, time management, teamwork, and empathy help distinguish you from candidates with similar technical backgrounds. For example, saying, "I can manage time pressure in projects and stay solution-oriented," shows not just knowledge, but attitude. These traits are especially noticeable during interviews. Empathy, conflict resolution, and planning skills show how well you can adapt to the work environment. That's why you should include these in your CV and also share related examples during interviews. They give the employer a direct sense of what it would be like to work with you. Remember, we work with people. Human skills are what carry and express your technical abilities. Whether you're employed or between jobs, sustainable career growth today depends on developing a habit of lifelong learning. Start by setting weekly goals. For example, this week I'll spend 3 hours watching data analysis courses. Keep your goals specific, and reinforce your learning by taking short notes and sharing them. Make learning a daily routine, even if it's just 15 minutes of focused reading. It adds up over time. While access to knowledge is easier than ever, the true advantage comes from turning learning into a consistent habit. In today's competitive landscape, it's not the static ones, but those who keep learning who stay ahead. Think of growth as a marathon. Small, steady steps can take you a long way. There will be times in your career when you feel stuck or unsure about your path. But these moments are often opportunities for restructuring or changing direction. For example, someone might start in software but realize they're more excited by process consulting. That's not a loss, it's a redirection of potential. Analyze uncertain periods consciously. What excites you? Talk to people, do research, and experiment with new paths. Don't be afraid to try something new. Flexibility helps you stay on track. A career isn't a straight line, it's a journey shaped by turns. The key is how well you recognize and guide those turns. That requires not just courage, but also awareness. Every dead end might be the beginning of a new path. We often hear people who struggle to find a job or feel dissatisfied in their current role say, "Then I'll just start my own business." However, while entrepreneurship may sound like freedom, it also comes with serious responsibility. Many founders admit, "I opened my own office and ended up working twice as much." Keeping a business alive takes more than just an idea. It requires discipline, structure, and full accountability for everything, from tax filings and customer relationships to team management and even restocking the coffee. That's why launching a business should begin with careful planning. Treat the first year as a period of learning and stabilization rather than expecting immediate profit. Gaining customer trust, managing costs, and building sustainability take time. Many entrepreneurs underestimate this workload and give up before completing the first year. Instead of jumping in unprepared, take small, realistic steps and build a strong foundation. Starting a business can be a dream, but turning that dream into lasting success requires commitment, planning, and patience. Most new entrepreneurs face the same hurdles: limited capital, difficulty finding customers, weak marketing results, and time pressure. I spent $1,000 on Facebook ads and got nothing back, is a classic case of acting without a plan. The remedy takes discipline. Define your target audience clearly. Who should choose you, and why? Which channels actually reach them? Instead of throwing money at broad ads, run small A/B tests and learn what works. Try your idea on a small scale, adjust, then grow. Entrepreneurship should be driven by data, not excitement alone. Early setbacks are normal, but founders who measure, analyze, and adapt eventually find traction. Without a plan, you lose money, and often your morale. With a plan, you learn and improve. Many people think, if I can make my current salary on my own, why not start a business? The problem: business revenue is not personal take-home income. Before you pay yourself, you must pay taxes, rent, staff, tools, marketing, and ongoing investments. That's why financial planning matters before you resign. Test the waters first. For example, 6 months before I quit, I spent 2 hours a week doing freelance work. That gives you data with low risk. Write a business plan. List every cost. Model best, expected, and worst cases. Then see if it still works. Entrepreneurship requires more than bravery. It requires preparation. Skipping these steps is why so many ventures fail. Plan first, then decide. So, after everything we've watched and discussed, when we ask how to build a career plan, one thing becomes clear. A strong career doesn't grow out of random moves. It's shaped by structured, measurable goals. Start by defining short-term 3 to 6 months, mid-term 1 year, and long-term 3 to 5 years objectives. Use the SMART framework. Your goals should be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. For instance, I will reach B2 English in 6 months by studying 30 minutes every day. Write your goals down. Putting them in writing builds discipline and accountability. Review your progress monthly and adjust your plan when necessary. If you don't define your own path, you'll end up following someone else's. In the end, direction matters more than speed, and having clear goals gives you both. This journey requires more than just talent. It demands patience, discipline, and consistent effort. A successful career doesn't emerge from random choices. It's built step by step, through thoughtful planning and self-awareness. Those who take the time to understand themselves, set clear goals, and move forward with intention are the ones who reach meaningful outcomes. Job searching is not a passive phase, it's an active, strategic process that involves learning new skills, sharing your ideas, and producing visible work. These efforts help you stand out and stay relevant. Every action you take, no matter how small, adds to your visibility and value. Remember this: if you don't build your own career, you risk drifting into someone else's plan. On this journey, you must decide: will you be the one drawing the map, or just following a path laid out by others? The answer lies in your hands. Choose growth, choose direction, choose to lead your own path forward. Congratulations! You've successfully completed the training. I hope this journey has inspired you and provided practical steps you can apply right away. To reinforce what you've learned, you can now take a short assessment specially prepared for you. After completing the test, your certificate will be delivered. To receive the test link, please subscribe to the channel and send an email to elzer.hara@gmail.com. Thank you for your participation.